y'all doing? This is Sergeant O coming at ya. Just a quick announcement. You know, I'm a member of the VFW here in Lomita and Post 1622 here off 1865 Lomita Boulevard in Lomita, California, where on Wednesdays from 6 to 10, IKJ. That's for DJ and karaoke. If you don't know, I'll have a karaoke show from 6 to 10, one of the best in South Bays. Come out and join us. We have Saul, who is our cook. Cooks anything you want. Dance floor. I do line dancings. I mix it in everything else. People love my shows. Every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come support your veterans. Come support the guys who put their lives on the line. Come out there. I do have some other shows, but they're members only, so I don't announce them because no use you coming because you have to be a member. But I will hopefully be at some other venues as soon as they get off their behinds and get me going. I am one of the best karaoke shows in South Bay area. Okay, so, but that right there is more important to me because it's dear to my heart. That's the veterans who fought for us. I'm a veteran myself. This is veteran owned, and that is Stars and Stripes Karaoke. And you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and Stars and Stripes. That's N with the letter N. Stars and Stripes Karaoke. All right, with that little announcement here, let's get it started. So, you know, I was on Facebook and I was watching a debate over the ACA, Obamacare, what have not, back and forth. And I have to really admit, this was a very educated debate. Not sure, even though there was a couple of people that rang in with the whole Trump is racist, white supremacist. No, it wasn't a sloppy debate. There was other people, and they were really bringing receipts on both sides. It was great. It's great to see it. Very educational. Loved it. That was on Facebook. Now, if you do like this show and you enjoy it, you know, I'm trying to, even though I am a conservative, I'm trying to look at both ways, be a little bit bipartisan, not too much, because it's hard. It's hard when liberals are way off to the left right now. I just can't jump over there right now. Come to the center a little bit and I'll meet you. But I thought this video, and as I'm watching that, I thought, you know what, I need to do a video. It's going to be quick. It's not going to be a debate on them because they were really coming with some receipts. I'm making this really quick. And let's call it the truth they don't want to hear. Sounds great, right? You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about how all this started back when they rolled out the Obamacare. Man, they sold it like it was the savior of healthcare. Said it was going to make things better, cheaper, fairer, that nobody would be left behind. But what I remember most wasn't cheaper premiums or better coverage. What I remember is paying more. I remember working hard every day, paying for health insurance throughout my job, already expensive as it gets. And then come tax, the government saying, hey, if you don't have proof of insurance, you're going to hit you with a penalty. To me, I was looking at it, I said, I'm not seeing how this is helping anybody. But don't get me wrong, it was, even though it failed, I mean, I think, but the first year, the website crashed. I mean, it was terrible. They couldn't get on. They couldn't get it. People were waiting for months to get on it. But when they did, and it did fix itself out, it was a benefit to the people who needed it. Truly. So it's important that we look at that because we can slam it all you want, but it was good for the people, the older people. The bad thing was the people who didn't need it wasn't going to get it. Some of them would say, I'd rather pay the penalty. Because they didn't need it. It was too high for them. It was supposed to balance everything out, but what they didn't prepare for that people weren't going to get it. So it wasn't paying for itself. And some people pulled out in some states. If I recall, some people pulled out. It became kind of a monopoly, if you guys remember, in some states. And to a point where they had to get subsidies. Just one after another trying to fix this thing. So even though the plan, the idea was in his right mind. It was meant to be for the best. I believe in my heart. It was. It just didn't happen that way. Especially as it went on. I remember the individual mandate the most. That blew my mind. I'm like, wait, what? Because when I had lost my job, before I found out about the VA, I tried to get Cover California, and what I realized is that I can't afford this Cover California. I can't afford this premium. I'm not even working. And the unemployment wasn't capping. I was starting to hustle, do whatever I can to make it. And I was just falling deeper and deeper. And I just couldn't see why this was helping. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, I found out about the VA. Didn't realize that was there for me this entire time. If I knew that, I would have never been on this. My employees paying $300-$400. I don't know how much I was paying, but I remember paying a lot. The only thing I was paying more to was California taxes. So, I remember getting VA. That ended up working out. And with the individual mandate, that's what they called it. Sounded fancy, but it was just another way to dig in your wallet if you think about it. They promised affordable care, but the only thing that got more affordable was their excuses. See, they told us it was going to be for the greater good, that it was about helping families, but families like mine, we didn't feel that. We felt the squeeze. We were told, be patient, it will get better. Years went by, premiums didn't drop, deductibles didn't shrink. The only thing that grew was frustration. And then came the changes. One administration after another. All taking turns at the wheel, tweak this, undo that, pass a new executive order. They said they were fixing the system, but you ever notice how every fix just means more forms, more loopholes, and more confusions? I don't care who's in charge. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, the Martians. If the people still can't afford to see a doctor, you ain't fixing shit. Plain and simple. And while they were arguing over who gets credit, we're still paying the price. But let me tell you where it started to burn me up. Truly. While Americans were struggling to pay health care, rent, food, you name it, our government turned around and started handing out benefits like it was candies to folks who didn't belong here. Let's be real for a second. People crossing the southern border weren't all coming for opportunities the right way. You had coyotes, smugglers, telling folks, if you get caught, just say the magic word. I'm seeking asylum. Now, the proper way to get asylum is going through the port, I believe. Going through the port and getting proof of that. Not sneaking over here, and when you get caught, then you claim asylum. But Biden let this go. It was, and then it became a real law to do. Now, I get it. There's people in this world who truly need refuge. But this became a game. They knew if they said the word, they get processed, not punished. They get flown across the country, not sent back. They get put in hotels, given meals, given money. All of the back of the taxpayers who already were struggling. And while some were working the system, our leaders and sitting on TV calling it compassion. Let's talk receipts. Let's talk facts. In 2021, Chuck Schumer stood up and said, we have a moral obligation to provide a pathway to citizenship for every undocumented immigrant in this country. In 2023, Hakeem Jeffries said, the border is secure. That's a doozy right there. You got to admit. Wow, I remember. Isn't that funny just to go back? Why do we trust that guy? Anything that man says. Bernie Sanders back in 2019 said we need to decriminalize border crossing. Anybody wants to try to figure that one out? Yeah, I get it. Maybe it was him that Kennedy was talking about when he says they put instructions on the back of shampoo. But thinking of that, the person he meant it towards is AOC. That's a character. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a hottie, though. She truly is a hottie till she opens her mouth. She called our detention centers concentration camps. The label she puts on stuff. Charlie Kirk, a racist. Oh my God, just the thing she says, like, how are you allowed to even think? She's just She's something else. She is something else. Now look, I don't care how fancy your title is. When you start throwing words like that around, when you start saying the border is secure, and while millions and millions are pouring through it every year, you're not telling the truth. You're gaslighting the American people. While they argue over semantics, real folks are feeling the fallout. Hotels packed with migrants, getting food programs, money. And get this. This is important. This is what gets me the most. When I hear people arguing and fighting over this, they're getting lodging, food programs, and the veterans are sleeping under tunnels, under bridges, everywhere else. And you just never hear the word veterans come out of these people's mouth. Ever. Will they forget about us? Now, I was a homeless vet for a little bit. You know, got searching, doing whatever I have. I worked my way, got what's going, did it myself. And I wasn't no junkie who deserved to be under a bridge. I was just struggling. This is California. And they don't give a shit about veterans. Now, the VA does. Don't get me wrong. There are people in the VA that really take care of us. But these other people, they don't give a shit about us. But they do give a whole lot about people who have come over here illegally. You think that's compassion? No. That's chaos. And it's costing us billions. And here's what really gets me. You try to bring this up, you try to ask a fair question, and they will call you a racist, cruel, or heartless. Heartless? That's not heartless, son. No, I'm heartbroken. Heartbroken that my country's generosity is being abused while other people are suffering. Other Americans are suffering. You know, I talk to folks every week. Like I said, I'm part of the VFW. And I speak to veterans, single parents, seniors, good, honest people who have done everything right, paid their dues, worked hard. And you know what they ask? How come we got to prove we deserve help, but people who come here illegally get handed to them? And I know people fight. Oh, they don't. You know what? Come live where I live. I live in Long Beach. I'm here by them. I see it. I'm in the hospital. I see it. So don't tell me what they are or they're not getting. I see it. I see how they treat the streets. I see how it acts. Dog poop on your front doorstep. It's just terrible. But I'm a racist if I tell the truth. If I point it out. Look, it's a fair question. But nobody in DC wants to answer it. Because that question makes them look in the mirror. So, let me say it plain. If you reward people for breaking the law, don't act surprised when more people break it. Hello? This ain't about left or right, about right or wrong. And right now, what's happening at the border, or what was happening at the border, what was happening in our economy, what was happening in our streets, was wrong. And we're fixing it slowly with the fight of people who are not American and the ones who are supporting them. And yes, it's a fight. Every blue city is fighting back. How can we better this country if we don't let the people we voted to do what we voted them to do? This is what I don't get. We have a vote. If you agree on one thing and I agree on one thing and I win, you don't start acting a fool to keep me from getting what I got. You know what that reminds me of? How many have ever watched Happy Gilmore? Remember when he won the yellow jacket and the guy grabbed it and started running? That's America now. We won. Give me my yellow jacket. We got a government that's forgotten who it serves. They'll spend billions to house immigrants instead of fixing the road in their own town, in your town, in our town. They'll bend over backwards to protect optics before they protect the law. And then they'll turn around and look you dead in the eye and say everything is fine. No, it ain't fine, fool. And Americans know it. So here's my message to Schumer, Jeffries, Bernie, AOC, every politician that playing games with our future. Stop the lies. Stop the spin. Stop blaming Republicans, independents, whoever else you can blame it. Anunnakis, Luma, whatever that rock's coming here. Stop blaming everything. Start taking responsibility. Because the more you gaslight America, the more you lose the trust of the people who you're supposed to represent. And when that trust breaks, you can't patch it with another speech. You can't fix it with another bill. You fix it by telling the truth. You fix it by standing up for the citizens who built this country, not the ones who cut in line to take advantage of it. I still believe in this country. I still believe in the American people. I don't believe in excuses. I don't believe in manipulation. And I sure in the fuck don't believe in rewarding bad behavior. You want a better America? Then lead by example. Put your citizens first. Uphold the laws you swore to defend. Stop gaslighting us. Stop blaming others. Because as soon as you start fixing what's broken, we will be a lot better. Fix that. Fix what's broken. Because until that happens, until we get real accountability, this country just spinning its wheels while the same politicians sit back and smiling, telling us we're crazy for seeing what's right in front of us. So here's the bottom line. We don't need fancy speeches. We don't need dumbass speeches. We don't need labeling speeches. We need leadership. We don't need excuses, lies, gaslighting. Gavin Newsom. We need honesty. And if that makes some people uncomfortable, fucking good. Because comfort never fixed a fucking thing. Truth did. And that's the bottom line. Because the American people said so. This is SergeantO. I hope you have a great day.